Yo, 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 what's good, y'all? It's your motherfucking boy. I ain't gotta say no names, right? But I am, and it was your boy Bubba, and I am back with another gym vlog. I haven't did a gym vlog in a really long time, so I figured that I would do one because it's been a really long time, and you guys like the gym vlogs. Anyways, I'm just doing some getting ready for squats. So I'm foam rolling my shins and do my hamstrings. Well, I did my hamstrings already, but just doing some stretching and do some goblet squats to warm up and then I'm gonna squat. But I wanted to talk about some shit, man. There's some shit on my mind that I've been wanting to talk about. A lot of shit on my mind I want to talk about. That being, now that my body is changing a lot, I've lost about 78 pounds, right? And counting. I'm still gonna be losing a lot more weight. I'm just a little nervous about I'm nervous about the reactions of a lot of my peers and random people and stuff like that. And I know a lot of y'all saying, but your peers are supposed to be supportive. And I'm like, I do have a lot of supportive peers, but I also have some hating ass peers. And when I say peers, I don't necessarily mean close friends, but people who are homies, and even some of my close friends I know are secret haters. I know that sounded corny, but yeah, the gym feels like super fucking different too. After surgery, I don't really know how to squat the way I used to, or bench, or like, it's not that I don't, because I know how to. I just forgot the cues of benching and the cues of squatting properly. All that shit changed for me. And this is my second week back, so I'm still getting in the swing of things, which is fine. It's not, maybe I'm sounding dramatic, but it's not really that big of a deal, but it does feel different. Also, trying to have the energy, meaning I have to eat and drink enough protein during the day to actually make sure that I am getting the energy, and also staying hydrated, because if I'm not hydrated, I'm definitely not gonna be able to live. So, but to be honest, right now, I am more focused on rebuilding strength and reconnecting to my body. I think that's one of the biggest things right now for me. Because I do kind of feel weak. Like, I have a lot of strength still, but I feel weak. And it's one of the things that I really want to do is just reconnect to my body, because I feel like I'm learning my body. I feel like I'm learning my body all over again. And I just hate that shit. So we'll see. Oh yeah, this is much better in these shoes. Yeah, these squats are gonna be much fucking better. Much fucking better. I will say, now that I had the surgery, I feel like this is the opportunity for me to build the body I want to build. I know that I had the opportunity years ago, but I feel like this gave me a physical reset, and it's gonna help me get to where I want to get to physically. So I'm kind of happy about that. I will say that there are some things that I'm worried about. My ass. Look at my ass, y'all. My ass is so flat now. My ass is so fucking flat. It's like my ass. Look, my ass is so. Even when I bend down, it's flat as fuck now. And I think because I was losing, that's why I don't want to lose too much body fat, because I feel like looking in the mirror, that's one of the things that is like kind of going the most. And also, like, my man boobies are getting a little more saggy. So I'm kind of, oh bitch, I gotta make sure that I have everything in the right proportions, because I don't want to look fucking crazy. I don't want to look like I'm melting. That is my biggest fucking concern, is I'm melting. Don't want that at all. But anyways, I'm gonna go start some squats now. That's what we're gonna do. I don't really know what type of body that I want. I do know what type of body I want. I do. I definitely want to be like a thick, blue collar type of thick muscle body type of guy. I've always liked that look. What I kind of want to go for. So, or achieve something close to it. Like, one of the things that I do know is that my body and the way my body is going to be different from how somebody else's body is when it comes to building muscle, losing body fat, I think those are things that are very important that you have to keep in mind when you have a body goal. You got to realize and take into consideration that your body is not going to look like the next person's. It's always going to be a little different. I'm saying, so it is something that you got to take into consideration when it comes to body stuff in general. I ain't gonna lie, I want a fat ass. I'm talking about not a ghetto booty, but a nice big muscle booty that a motherfucker want to eat on a regular. I'm sorry, I'm so vulgar. I know y'all be listening to my shit and y'all be like, this man is so sexually charged. Oh my God. But hey, I can't help it. I like it. I like being that way. I think sometimes it's funny just to be that way. One more set and I'm gonna add some fucking weight. I honestly don't care about losing weight anymore. I'm heading towards that. I'm trying to shift my brain from losing weight to dropping body fat. There is a big difference because I think a lot of people are chasing the number on the scale when they should be chasing the physique, right? Because I want to have a big ass chest and a fat ass. I ain't gonna hold you. That's what I would love to have. I don't want to have I don't want to have a skinny waist. I just want to have a thick ass butt, a nice ass chest, and big ass arms. That's all I want. And I'd rather chase that than chase dropping 80 pounds. I'm not gonna lie, I hope I get down to at least 235 and then I can bump up to, because I'm almost to the 50s. I'm 262 right now and I'm about to be into the 50s and I'm hoping I get down to 235 at least, and then that way I can scale my way back up to muscle. That is what my goal is, and that's what I vision. Right now, I am going to be chasing physique versus body fat or weight loss. And I think people have to understand there is a huge difference because, like I just said, I know I'm trying to talk all fast and speaking over myself and regurgitating. I don't know if anybody experiences, but one of the things about my mom, this is a quick story. My mom be on the phone with my auntie or one of her coworkers or whatever, and she tells the same story over and over and over and over and over. She don't know what else to say or what else to talk about, so she'll keep talking about the same thing over and over and over and over. And I'm like, damn. And I'll be sitting there listening to her, and I'll be like, damn, do you have anything else to say? Because yes, I'll be listening to my mama's conversation sometimes. I ain't gonna lie, I do. But anyways, back to what I was saying, I'll say it again. You should be chasing physique versus fat loss at a certain stage in your weight loss journey, because the scale doesn't really do anything but give you the weight of your actual body, meaning your fucking muscle and body fat in you. That's what all that is combined of. What you should be focusing on at some point in weight loss is how much visceral fat do I have? How much this type of fat do I have to lose? Because I think that is where, and visceral fat is the fat that is on your organs. So that's the important fat that you need to be getting rid of, is the visceral fat, because that shit's all on your organs and you don't want that type of fat on your organs. You don't want that. So your real thing is like, what do I want my body to look like? And I think that's very important for a lot of us who are in this weight loss journey, is to learn when we need to shift our mindset to that. Because some people will sit on the treadmill for 2 hours walking uphill and, oh, I'm going to be losing my body fat. I'm going to shrink and turn into a twink. No, you're not. If you don't do any type of lifting, any barbell shit, you're not actually building muscle or losing the weight. So you want to make sure that you are doing strength training at any stage of your life. I don't care if you're only doing 10 pounds. You need to be doing some level of strength training because your muscles matter. Our muscles fucking do matter. So that's enough of my preaching. I'm gonna add some weight and get it in. Squats be kicking my ass, y'all. I'm about to do leg press right quick and then do some other shit and then home. I did have some shit in my mind today, or just a minute ago, not today, but I thought about it for a while. I think one of the things that I have been thinking about lately is my perception within the gay community, because I feel like body standards change, and I've already noticed some of the shit that I've gotten from people already with the changes of my body, and realizing my DMs are starting to get heavier with people sending me stuff and hitting me up. And I realize body standards do matter a lot within this community, and how it really does change the way people value you. And I see it already where people are messaging me all the time and hitting me up and wanting to do the things. But I don't know. Shit. Anyways, wow. I can say I understand the body standards within the community. I feel like desire politics are like a real thing within our community. We already got a bunch of fucking 40-year-olds running around here like 16 or living their high school life all over again. So you have that. And I get it. Everyone wants some type of validation. I think you could be lying to yourself if you say you don't want validation. I think everybody does. Validation is like that thing that I think everyone chases after. I think we all want some level of validation. We do it at work, we do it in our social lives, our career life. Well, I should say at work, but we do it. And anyone who says they don't want validation is just lying to themselves. They have not been real about wanting to seek validation somehow. I know for a fact that I do. But anyways, I don't want to get too deep, but well, it's deep anyway, so I might as well just continue to keep going. Desire politics are a real thing in this community. Even within the bear community, when you think about the bear community and how it was built, the bear community was built off of the fact that people that had bigger bodies and that were hairy, for some reason, they couldn't really fit in to the social status of the gay community or the LGBTQ, right? And so in order for them to fit in, they made a subculture, a subgroup, the bear community, right? And so you have this group of men who love bigger bodies and hairy bodies and masculinity, right? So they built this entire community. And even within that entire community, you have to fit a certain aesthetic for people to actually be attracted to you. And I think one of the things that a lot of bears don't want to admit to, because I do understand that attraction is just physical and it really is environmental as well. And I think that's a big thing too when it comes to the bear community too, is there's an environmental attraction. And so that's why you see the typical looking bear on every single flyer in the bear community, because they want someone who they deem attractive to put on there and that they know other people find attractive, physically attractive. And so within the bear community, I think the attractiveness tends to be a big bearded white man that looks like he cuts down trees, a lumberjack. So that's why you have that aesthetic of type of men that you see on every single bear flyer. You see every person who calls themselves a bear chase after that body type. Even myself, when I was a bigger guy, I chased after that aesthetic, that look. I didn't wear flannels like that until I got into the bear community. They wear fucking flannels like that, bro. I wore flannels when I was like motherfucking 6 or 7 years old. After that, it was all graphic tees and white tall tees, because that was the style for me growing up. But I didn't wear fucking flannels and shit until I got into the bear community, because I feel like that was the look, that was the aesthetic, that was the thing that people went for. And you want to be a part of belonging, so you do things that you think is going to make you fit in, right? So I'm scared that maybe I'm not going to be bare enough if I get too small, you know. I will say though, I think that there is a difference between social media physiques and bodies versus real life. You see it a lot on social media where even now people are using AI and shit. It got to a point where Instagram, when you make anything AI, Instagram automatically reads if it's AI or not. and they put AI info right above the photo. So anytime you use AI or anything on there, they go ahead and put that in there no matter what. So I figured with like Canva, I've been getting really good with Canva. So I'm like, oh, what I'm gonna start doing from now on is when I'm making anything, I'm just gonna start really getting good with Canva and make my thumbnails. And I've actually have been doing my thumbnails and everything by myself with Canva. But I realized when I made my thumbnail for my bariatric doc, the first thing it did was says AI info on the top of it. When I posted it, I was like, ugh. People won't be like, ooh, AI slap, I'm not watching that. So I was like, let me just go ahead and for my next update, just do my own Canva type shit. Cause nah, I want people to actually tune in and support me. But whatever, AI is taking over. But anyways, I don't want to start rambling on because that's what I do the most. I do the best actually, is ramble about a lot of shit. But I see a lot of fucking people on the internet that will AI their photos and make their muscles look bigger or cleaner or more cut, more vascular type of bodies. And they do all that shit to make themselves look good. Or I'm trying to find a better word than good, but like they try to make themselves go viral too by it and to get the likes and the love and all those things. So you'll see that so much on the internet now versus then you'll see them in real life actually, and then they don't look like that at all. They don't got abs. They look like, it's funny because I see even on the dating apps, like there was this one daddy that I was really super attracted to, and I was going through his profile. I didn't even look at his profile pics actually. I just hit the button to like him, right? And he instantly liked with me, and we were chatting, and I went back to look through his photos, and one of his photos he had abs, and the other one the same type of photo, just a fat belly. And I said, what the fuck? This man don't work out. He got a nice dad bod. Why the fuck are you trying to show me that you, like, bro, come on. And he has some gym photos, and that's cool, but like, come on, bro. You don't got no. And I get it too, man. Everybody want to have a nice body. Everybody wants to have a body, but like catfishing me is not going to make me attracted to you. So yes, you really have to take into consideration of that. And then also, while I'm on the subject of this social media physiqueness, I think a lot of this shit comes down to masculinity and how masculinity is so tied into so many different types of bodies. I think a lot of times, a lot of gay men struggle with the idea of being masculine in general, right? Because I know for a fact that I struggled with the idea of being masculine from so many different types of areas of my life, especially one being my voice. Sometimes I remember someone was like, oh, I knew you were gay because of the way you spoke. And I was like, wait, what? It's like the way you talk, you sound like you like be sassy. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. I don't consider myself being sassy, but all right, cool. And he was like, well, you're not sassy, but like sometimes I can hear it coming out. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. I was like, and then I started realizing how self-conscious that made me feel, especially when I would do my podcast or when I would do a video. I would try to deepen my voice. Like, what's good, y'all? You know who it is. You already know what's good. This is my boy. It's your boy. And honestly, it sent me back to like when I was in high school. Because when I was in high school, I used to do that shit all the time. I would like, try to talk like a real man, have a deep voice. And my voice is not really like that. And I don't even think I have a high-pitched voice. I only get a high-pitched voice really when I get super happy or, you know, I'm with my gay friends and we just kiki and I'm like, yes, honey, you already know how it is. I get like that. I don't think, I do believe that I'm more butch. And a lot of people do say like, I didn't even know you was gay until someone told me you were gay. But it's all a part of that code switching thing that I've talked about on my podcast once before. Code switching is a thing. I think everybody does it. White, black, straight, gay, trans, whatever. Everyone code switches. It's just a part of human nature, right? But I think when a lot of gay men who struggle with their bodies, it is one of the things that ties to their masculinity. I've watched so many gay men in their late 30s now try so hard to be masculine and they go for these certain looks like the blue collar. Even though I'm attracted to blue collar men, I love me a blue collar daddy. I love blue collar men in general. These motherfuckers really try so hard to attach themselves to certain looks. The blue collar look, the redneck look. These motherfuckers popping Zins and probably they don't even like the Zins. They just pop them because it's what the straight masculine looking guy does, right? So that's the reason why they pop the Zins and the pouches or whatever you want to call them, to make themselves look manly. And I find it to be hilarious, actually. Very fucking funny. And there's a group of people that live here in Portland that does that shit. particularly this one muscle bear that I'm not gonna name on here, but he tries so hard to look manly and smoke cigarettes. And I can tell he don't even like smoking Marlboro Reds. Like, come on, bro, you're a fucking nurse. Like, you know, like, you don't like smoking cigarettes, really. You just do it because it looks cool to make you look masculine. It's funny though. God rest his soul though, or God bless his soul. It's just funny to see how, you know, men perform masculinity for other men. And that's what makes it more gay to me. Because even the straight guys, where it's like, you're trying to perform how masculine you are. Bro, I don't care. I don't care that you do those things. It doesn't make you more of a man, it just makes you look silly that you're trying to perform it for me. Like, just be yourself. That's who you, and I think when I see naturally masculine men, that's what makes him attractive. When I see a straight man who is just naturally masculine, that makes him fucking attractive to me. The same thing with a gay man. When I see a gay man who's just naturally masculine, that makes him extremely attractive to me. For me, I like that. Because when I see a man who's masculine, I don't just see the hard parts of him or the manly parts of him. I see the soft parts of him. I see the vulnerability parts of him, vulnerable parts of him, not vulnerability, well, vulnerability. I see that in him. And those are the things that make me attracted to a man like that. That's naturally masculine. So that's just how I personally feel about it. But I see a lot of gay men who just struggle with the idea of being masculine, and when it comes to their bodies, they will go all out their way to do certain things, dramatically certain things, to make themselves look masculine. They attach themselves to these things. I see so many men who call themselves patriots, and I'm like, but there's this gay dude who calls himself a patriot on the internet, and it's like, he attaches himself to that because there's a sexualized part of it that makes it sexual. I get it. Why though? You don't have to be like that. You can just be a regular masculine dude. You don't have to be like that though. You don't have to attach yourself to something like that. You just don't. The grunt style t-shirts, and you don't really believe in that shit. I even think like people, I feel like gay conservatives only attach themselves to that shit too because it's some type of thing to seek some type of attention that they need. I don't know, but it's a lot. I'm rambling on. I need to do my last set so I can get the fuck out of here. I am done with this. All right, I'm gonna try these out. I haven't did this shit in a long ass time. Like a Romanian deadlift on the cable. I haven't did this in a really long time, so I hope that I get this right. I haven't did this shit in so long. So the key about Romanian deadlifts on the cable is trying to like pull up with your legs versus your arms, which sometimes can be a hard thing. Is pulling up with your legs, but it feels so fucking amazing, and I can actually feel my glutes working. Yeah, it's a good fucking stretch coming up too. Oh my God, it's such a good stretch coming up. I can feel my glutes stretching to come up. But one of the things that I can say before I get ready to go is that I've been training myself ahead for the validation. Training yourself to seek your own validation. I think that's important so much when it comes to this shit, when it comes to the bear community, or just being in any type of community. It doesn't just mean the bear community, but that's what we're talking about right now, is the bear community. I think it's so important to train yourself for a validation and love on yourself and care about yourself and seek it in yourself. How do you feel? Because I think a lot of times you see so many people out here doing the most dangerous things and deadliest things to get validation from people who really don't care about you, or getting validation from people who just only seek a certain thing from you. And it sucks because it's so many different age ranges that deal with this whole thing of trying to find validation. And I know it's hard to admit it too, because I think even myself at one point, I remember within the bear community when I first came out, I was literally trying to find validation. I was trying so hard to be like every other fucking bear, wearing everything that they would wear, talking the same way, watching the same type of movies and shows. So when I go to certain social gatherings, that I could be in the know and have jokes with people and talk about things with people. And that shit's not normal. I don't care what you say. It's actually not normal to deal with shit like that. But I also think It actually is normal to deal with shit like that, but it shouldn't be the thing that you have to deal with. I think you should be able to find community with people who are somewhat like-minded, and it happen to be bears. But I think finding a like-minded community, when you go into a setting where it's very social, you don't feel pressured to know exactly what they're talking about, know exactly what it is. Like, because you start to feel some type of way, start to feel left out. You start to feel like the third wheel. Learn how to engage and learn something, or to bring something to the table when you're having those conversations about things. Exposing people to new different types of things. Exposing people to your world is a big thing, I think, when you're having communication within social gatherings. I think don't be afraid to be yourself. I think that's the most important thing, is just showing up as you are. And if they don't like it, period. You should not give a fuck about what people say about you. You should show up as you are. You know what I'm saying? That's what matters the most. And if no one likes it, find somebody else that will like it. Find somebody else that will like you and be curious about you and want to celebrate life with you and enjoy you and enjoy your company and shit like that. Because I think a lot of times, a lot of this, I feel like a lot of the relationships within this community over the years for me have been very transactional, in a sense of like, I feel like in a good handful of relationships, in my past relationships, I was always a third wheel. I wasn't really cared about to a certain degree. I feel like they only cared about me because of who I was attached to or what I did. It wasn't about me. It was about what I had to offer them in some way. And I built a lot of relationships based off of sex and not real friendship. And I think over the years, I've done some good friendship building, good fucking friends over the years. And some of them I'm not close friends with them anymore. I still consider them friends, but we're not close friends anymore. But over the years, I got a solid group of fucking friends right now. And so I feel like when I go into certain settings, I'm able to go into a setting and feel comfortable because I've made a good group of friends over the years. And I'm very proud of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to finish up my workout, and then I'll talk to y'all later. Make sure y'all subscribe for me, please. Also subscribe to my podcast page. It will be coming out pretty soon, within June 4th. This is the date my first episode comes out. So please be on the lookout for that. I'm going to be doing audio only. A friend of mine is really trying so hard to convince me to go back to visuals. So I might do a few visual episodes here, but it's going to be exclusively on, Spotify account. I probably won't post it to YouTube. It'll be just like on Spotify or Apple Podcast. But I might just entertain the visuals, but it has to be with someone like a guest or something that comes on my show or interview. Page is turning into a content space, so I will be doing hot topics, blogs, like musics and reaction to certain videos and documentaries and movies. So be on the lookout for that. Yeah, I want to say thank you to everybody that likes and share and subscribe and support your boy. I'll see y'all. I got to finish up this workout because I got to get home and do some other things. All right. Peace.